Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today, as you can see, I have a winch box right here from Open Road. All right, it's going to go on the JLU here, the 4xe, and I'm going to be using the rough country winch plate here because Open Road doesn't sell them with them, and I obviously need it for the Jeep. All right, I did order the 13,500 pound winch. On the box, I'm noticing it says 12K, so that's a bit concerning. Hopefully it is a 13.5K inside the box, you know, but you guys have seen these winches. They've been making a splash everywhere on social media and YouTube, and I finally got my hands on one. So we're gonna see how it's packaged up and everything, and we're gonna install it, okay? Stay tuned. Brought to you by. All right, so let's see what we got here. Instructions for the rough country mounting plate here. It's going on the Jeep. I did have to buy this separate, all right? And I have the little box right here. Leave it there. And when I ordered the Open Road winch, it came with the recovery strap because you do have the option to get a tree saver with it. Otherwise, you could just get the winch on its own. So I'm gonna put this off to the side for now, and let's start slicing and dicing here, guys. I'm using my super sharp styrofoam insulation knife here, and I've cut myself a few times with this knife. It's crazy how sharp they are. All right, moment of truth coming up shortly. All right, so we've got some decent packaging so far, and there's another dude on YouTube that did a winch install video for this branded winch. His was a previous generation. All right, you get the little decal right there, sticker, and the instruction manual. We all know instruction manuals are only useful when you're stuck. All right, so got your regular old run-of-the-mill winch hook right here, the winch strap, and this looks like it's the negative battery terminal. Yep, negative battery terminal. All right, put this off to the side. Mounting hardware. Top piece of styrofoam off. Little Open Road hat right here. Bam. You know what? It's actually a decent looking hat. Might wear it one day. All right, let's see, what else do we have here? You have the wired remote. And I believe this one is also a wireless winch, so there's probably a wireless setup right here. Whoa, there it is. Here you go, 2 wireless remotes. All right, pretty cool so far. Got your fairlead. What's nice about that rough country winch plate, it has the winch cover so you can mount it here. I saw some other people use the factory Wrangler plastic plate just to center it and make it look nice. You know, so it's nice to see rough country has a cover for it. All right, and moment of truth. Oh man, don't tell me it's a 12K. Don't tell me it's a 12K. No, it's not. So if you guys notice right here in the box on the other side, it says 12K right here. I was kind of worried about that. This one is actually a 13,500 pound winch. So I can find a way to leverage myself and pick it up. This thing is in there pretty good. There you go, 13.5. All right, looks pretty cool so far. So I'm gonna get to removing the, what is that? The bumper on the Jeep, and just take it from here. Just wanna make sure all the parts are in there. Everything looks pretty simple so far. The positive battery lead right here, you know, and pretty easy so far. And it does come with a synthetic rope. All right, so Open Road, so far, so good, guys. All right, I'm gonna disconnect these little eBay amber lights, and I don't know, I'm thinking of relocating these and just bolting them onto the sides right here, because when I turn my front facing camera on, these 2 big heads are literally just right in my field of view, and it kind of does obstruct my sight when I don't have somebody to spot me. So I might have to end up doing that. I'll take this little bar off and put these lights right here. All right, but for now, remove the bumper. So I do have to remove the bottom skid plate, a few bolts, and it should be pretty simple to come off. These are, you could break them loose enough to a point where you could just remove them by hand afterwards. Pretty cool, super simple. Is that mounted? Yep, it's a frame, whatever. All right, now that we got that off, see how many screws it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them. I'm gonna go out and dump a little bit of these pebbles out on my driveway. I'll be right back. All we have to do now is just disconnect the harnesses from the fog lights on both sides. And it looks like it's not that many nuts holding this bumper in place. So it's 1, 2, now on that side 3, 4, and same thing on the passenger side. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. All right, so I was wrong, guys. You only really have to disconnect the passenger side fog light harness, and you only have to do the main harness right here. So it's this. All right, so what you'll do is you'll pull that little yellow tab back out, and this gray piece slides out, and then let the rest of the harness pull back. All right, so yellow tab out, green part up, and then the harness lifts right out. All right, guys, let me see if I can do it with one hand. There you go. Lift that up right here, boom, easy money. So I'm gonna have to remove this little bar that I installed from Amazon too, by the way, to get access to remove this top plate here, just to make it easier to remove this, this bumper, all right? So let's get to it. That we have that off, time to remove these other 3, 4 bolts here to remove this top plate. Uh-oh. Man, I shit the bed. All right, back up, time to do it the old school way. That tool was only like 60 bucks, so it's not gonna hurt the bank or anything. Had it for like 4 years. Hopefully they still make it. All right, that is off. I won't be needing that anymore. I love this freaking modular bumper from Mopar. I think every Jeep should come with one, honestly, even the sport ones. So you could do so much without having to break the bank for another off-road style bumper, and it doesn't freaking weigh that much either. All right, last one came off. All right, let's give it a motivational nudge. There we go. Put it off to the side here. Might as well take off that front plate too, the bracket. Look at that. Plastic clips only. Won't be needing that plate anymore. All right, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna see if that adapter plate fits from rough country. This one right here, so it doesn't look funky. Oh, all right, perfect. There we go. I won't need to cut out that plastic piece. Pretty awesome to throw that in there. All right. Now to figure this out. All right, so the winch plate kit is asking for the removal of the inner brace. So it's gonna be the inner brace on the passenger side and the inner brace right here on the driver's side. So you're gonna remove this. And I don't think we're gonna be reusing that because the winch plate is just as thick as that. And it's going to pretty much double not just a winch plate, but also a brace. So hopefully the holes are gonna line up here and it's gonna eliminate the need for that. Might have some spacers to add, but I'm pretty sure the kits have them installed, or not have them installed, I'm sorry, they have them included. All right, so let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, so we're gonna grab the winch plates, and when you put this on, put it on from underneath, and these two tabs right here, they're gonna be on the front of the frame. All right, and these two where the original brackets were, they're gonna be on the back side. All right, just like this. I'll take a little bit of motivation to get them in there. They fit just right, just snug. All right, and I'm gonna use the original hardware from Jeep to put these in. Gotta line them up a little bit. All right, there's one and two. Just a little bit more. And sometimes you hit it a little too hard. You motivate it too much. All right, perfect. And this, make sure it lines up just right. Perfect. I'm gonna tighten that up real quick, and then I'm gonna put the winch on here, make sure everything is nice and centered, tighten everything, run wires, connect it to the battery, and I guess just put everything back together. Where these eyelets are centered there, that when you put the bumper back on, everything, all 4 bolts go right in. All right, so now the instructions call for placing the winch in place, which is what we're about to do. All right, grab that nice little winch, put it right there. Now I'm gonna go look for the hardware and just bolt it down. Everything right here looks nice and tight. All right, so this kit comes with these little square nuts. I thought it was just a through and through hole here, but these nuts go right here inside the winch. You'll see little slots. All right, so 4 and 4. I was wondering why these pieces were there. You know, I was thinking maybe it's for a different type of mounting system, but we definitely need those. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this back on. All 4 of them have been inserted, line everything up, and get to bolting everything down. All right, so I'm underneath the Jeep right now, and I'm just lining up the little square inserts, square nuts, using a screwdriver. Make them as centered as possible. That way the hardware will go right in. Little screw I told you guys that was loose earlier. Guess what goes there? The freaking negative terminal. All right, so I'm gonna grab that and hook it up. I was like, wait a minute, there's only a positive. Freaking A, huh? All right, so this is gonna come out this way. So make sure you put it on the way you're gonna orient your wires. All right, that way you're not fighting with the resistance of the cables here. I put this little nut back on. Yeah, so by the way, that is where the instructions call for this little cable to be mounted on. It's the bottom of the motor, which makes sense. All right, so tighten that sucker up. And I'm orienting the wire to face, I guess, going towards the engine bay. All right, that way, like I said, you're not finding any wires when you're trying to tuck them, make it look nice, dress it up, whatever. All right, now we could get to mounting it. All right, so if you guys don't have some fish tape laying around, I recommend you get some. It's worth the investment. Just makes running wires so much easier. And all you have to do is really just pull the fish out, all right, or the wire out, and drive this in through wherever you're gonna fish the wire through. And you tape this end to the other end and you just pull it on through. Super easy, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with this thing right here, okay? There we go, and just undo the tape and you're good to go. Start pulling the positive wire. Free spool on this, pull it out, try it, let's see. All right, that's with the wired one. It's actually pretty impressed. Let me see how that wireless one works. I don't know if these are rechargeable or not. Might use batteries, who knows. All right, I think I need to read the instructions for these, but so far that winch works. All right, so I'm gonna start putting everything back together here and put the bumper on. Actually, I'm gonna put the other piece on the bumper right now. All right, man, I have a mess here. All right, so this is the fairlead cover for the bumper that came with the rough country kit. That way it's gonna cover up all these ugly holes right there. All right, so you're gonna use the provided hardware. And you're gonna put the Open Road fairlead up in the front right here. So you're gonna need 6 screws and bolts. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're all provided right here with the kit. They're black, which is pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna get to bolting them. First, I'm gonna do these outer 2 to secure this onto the bumper itself. And then I'm gonna do the fairlead ones. All right, so stand by. Here we go. There we go. And then you have your nuts right here. And I'm gonna use a tool to tighten them in a bit. All right. I think it's easier if I do that. Oh yeah. All right, just gonna tighten that and pretty much just put everything back on. All right, now that I have the fairlead installed on the bumper, I could go ahead and start tightening these. Everything's been centered, so we're good. this out so that I could run it through the bumper and be able to put this on and pretty much not have to worry about doing this later, so I could run my line to my fairlead. That looks like it's good enough right there. Let's engage that. All right, let's get that bumper. I love this little chair. Grab your winch line, run it through here, and now let's start to line up the bumper. Make everything fit, baby. Use your calves to raise, adjust, jiggle, whatever. Man, that took some effort. All right, now to tighten this back up again. That there bad boy. Now we do the exact opposite of earlier. We start putting the hardware back on. Man, should kick my ass. All right, 1, 2. Let's tighten this bad boy up. Here's the fun part right here, because you know everything's pretty much done. All right, perfect. That should be good. Plug that sucker right up, and looks like we're off to the races, guys. I'm just gonna put that little bar back up here, and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, so the winch is now installed. Everything works smooth, and I figured out how to use these remotes. All I have to do is just long press the power button, and this little red indicator light turns on, and same thing with the other one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the back of the Jeep. It was a successful install. All right, so I was afraid that I was gonna mess something up, knowing me. You know, luckily I was able to get it done, and now I can comfortably go on solo trips, knowing that if I get stuck, my chances of getting unstuck have increased. All right, so catch you guys later on the next one, and hopefully it's an adventure this time.